Welcome to Lake Placid. I thought if Els can do 2 Ironmans in 1 week, why can't I? Quick one, huge favour to ask. So this year we're trying to improve everything that we're creating, and we don't ask for much, but one thing that would help us hugely would be if you could just hit that subscriber button. Thank you. Yeah, I am back home. I very strongly considered going to Lake Placid. I had flights on reserve that I could have flown on Tuesday over to America, mainly because I needed to do Lake Placid to basically still have a shot of doing anything in the Pro Series. Obviously, having not raced yet, that was the last Ironman I could have done, to then be able to get the 3 Ironman scores and to be able to get 5 races as well without doing back-to-back 70.3s before Nice, which I won't be doing. So I did have I had like a lot of discussions with a lot of people of, can I go and do it? It might not be the best idea, but is it worth trying to try and do something in the Pro Series? Like, there's obviously quite a lot of money against a lot of that top 10, so part of me was like, even if I go and have an average race and get even if I get 2,500 points, it's better than just giving up 5,000 points without even trying. Yeah, and actually, like, body-wise, felt pretty good post Vittoria, other than my feet. So, and actually one of the main deciding factors, but yeah, I mean, I don't think I'll even be running by the weekend with current state of my blisters, let alone able to do a marathon. And then the other consideration was also, I'd only really done 4 weeks of running up to Vittoria. Legs actually felt all right. As I said, it was mainly the blisters that were really troubling me on the marathon. And so with Nice obviously being the main goal, so is it really worth risking trying to do back-to-back Ironmans and potentially then messing up all my Nice chances? Yeah, ultimately came down to what would I be more upset about, not being part of the Pro Series or not being able to race Nice, and not being able to race Nice won. So yeah, I've made the sensible choice. I'm going to have massive FOMO watching it, but yeah, definitely the right decision, having come back and still not really being able to walk that normally, it being Thursday, with these blisters. So yeah, and again, feeling like relatively pathetic that the blisters are so sore, but yeah, anyone that's seen my feet will know. Back home this week, all about recovery. So actually I did nothing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, just relaxed. Actually still wasn't sleeping that well because of my blisters. So yeah, actually I've only had a couple of nights of fairly good sleep now, so still quite tired. Went swimming this morning. I just kept it steady, did like an hour, and actually came out of the water and was like, I could probably go back to bed for a bit. So yeah, definitely body's taking a bit of time to recover. So I'll keep it pretty steady and aerobic, of a bit of swim and a bit of bike the next few days. Hopefully by next week, the feet might be in some state to start a bit of running, but I'm just gonna have to play that by ear because yeah, I need them to heal so I can then run properly, as opposed to drag it out and make it longer than it needs to be without running. So yeah, get the feet sorted. Next week will then just be kind of get moving again, like some little bits of intensity but nothing massive. And then from the week after that, it will basically be the start of the Nice block. So it's basically 8 weeks from that point, pretty sure. I've got a couple of weeks where I'm in Paris to go and see the Olympics, which will be super cool. So I'm imagining that's going to be quite a lot of sessions on the turbo, because obviously it's not as easy to get out and ride, and just, yeah, kind of normal swimming, running. I think I'm going to try and build a bit of run volume back in. Yeah, I definitely felt not having long runs in the legs or like that much volume, and I think part of that is kind of how long I'd had of really not much volume. So I guess this whole year I've probably done 2 runs that are over like 70 minutes, which like that's really not not very much. And I think that when I've done Ironmans off not much running before, it hasn't been that long of not running or not having any long runs. So yeah, definitely feel like I need a bit of volume and some longer runs in the legs before Nice. And then yeah, just keep building the bike. I think the dynamics on the bike are going to be pretty unique. Yeah, I mean, hopefully with the kind of swim that I had in Victoria, I'll at least be with like a good group of women to ride with. But I kind of think that as soon as we get to the long climb, it's all going to break up anyway. And I think that's going to be quite hard. So I think it's going to be like relatively normal along the flat bit. Then I reckon it's all going to go a bit nuts as we start climbing. So it's going to be quite a different race. And again, if I'm around people with Race Ranger, like I said, I found that quite stressful. So potentially probably gonna go and do ZLMC beforehand, just for like some more practice. Because the last thing I want is to be spending most of the bike around Nice stressing about potentially getting a drafting penalty. So, but yeah, other than that, it's basically all eyes on Nice now and just getting ready for that. Yeah, so like I said, I'm going to be in London to watch T100. I've got a PTO athlete board meeting, so I've got to be down there. And then obviously Al's racing, Cat and India racing. So yeah, I'll be around to watch that. We then drive to Paris that night, be in Paris for all the Olympics. I haven't decided what I'm watching yet, but I've got to map that out. And then I'll drive straight from Paris down to Font-Romeu for I think it ends up being about 5 weeks of altitude, with hopping across to ZLMC sort of 3 weeks into that, and then drop down to Nice probably 10 days before the race. So lots of good things to come, all the nice training, and yeah, just kind of looking forward to getting a good block in really before Nice.